What's up, y'all? It's Deep Talk with T, episode 29. Today's topic of discussion is no shame in the game. Attracting what is yours by being true to you and holding yourself accountable to your vision. I think we've done accountability to your higher self before, but this one is about focusing really on no shame in the game when you are following your truest self and when you are programming, doing what you know you need to be doing. I come from a middle class family, a very middle class family, not even like upper middle class, but a very middle class family in the Midwest. Both parents work full time, always have. Usually, pops have multiple hustles, and that's just what it is. I come from a very no excuses type of background, born on a Marine base and raised with the discipline to match. So when you had a task, there was no reason that you could give that was satisfactory as to why you didn't accomplish your task. And that was accountability. What does accountability really even mean? It means acting in a manner that is aligned with what you said you were going to. Whether that's your relationships, whether that's your job, whether that's your ambitions, no matter what it is, did you say that you was gonna act a certain way? And did you follow through? That's all accountability is. If you said it, if you didn't say it, then that's not even, you don't have to, nothing to be accountable for. It's pretty low, pretty lacking in ambition and not really attractive, but yeah, if you said you were gonna act a certain way or be a certain way or go after a certain thing, then that is what you have to hold yourself accountable to. Now, there are many bumps along the way when you are chasing something, when you are building something, when you are manifesting this vision that you've been given. It's not all peaches and cream and champagne and caviar dreams and shit. That shit don't come easy. So having no shame in the game is necessary because it's not always gonna look pretty and glamorous and successful. It's going to be times where people don't buy your shit. It's gonna be times where the people you thought were gonna support you didn't support you. There's gonna be times where you're not at your flyest or your bank account ain't on its heftiest. Whatever is the case, it's not always gonna be top flight as best as it could be along the way. You have to be able to ride through that shit. You have to be able to eat that shit up. You have to be able to have no shame in who you are and what you are doing as you go along your path and as you are, again, being accountable to your vision. That's the only way that you're ever going to manifest it and, again, attract what is yours by being true to you, which is the whole other part of this. People, it's a crazy time we live in here. There's a clash between technology and old ways of thinking and progressive ways of thinking and people trying to find their way in the mix. It's just a lot of craziness going on with the environment, with everything. Like, there's so much madness in the world. It's easy to be lost in the sauce and compare yourself to this person and that person and want this thing and that thing and think everything is outside of yourself when really it's not. It's not. Our external world is a reflection of our internal state. If you have an organized, disciplined internal state that you've cultivated with action, because it doesn't happen just by fucking thinking about it. You have to act in a manner that is in the same accordance with the same thing that you talk about and think about and align yourself with. It doesn't just happen by thinking about it and talking about it. Just all that speak it into existence shit doesn't work if you don't act on it. So if you're acting on it in the same way, I almost got off, I went and got off on a tangent. I lost damn near my train of thought. Acting in accordance with the vision that is aligned with what you've set for yourself, then that is what your external world will reflect. If you allow yourself to get lost in the sauce by not listening to your voice and by entertaining other voices, Whether or not it's the own voices that you come to think of as your own, because there's just how you compare and contrast yourself to other people. You have to learn to let all that shit go. Shut the fuck up and listen to your one true inner voice. The one that is probably most quiet, but the most profound when you actually hear it. And it's not actually, it can get loud if you learn to just listen to it and learn to pay attention to only it and to vanquish all other voices. Because if your internal state is chaotic, if your internal state is such that you don't even know what you prioritize and want, then that's what your external world is going to reflect too. So being true to you is how you really attract what is yours and what is meant for you. I have a good friend that he got a saying from his mother or his grandmother that what God has for you is for you. It's a very powerful saying. Whether or not you believe in God or not, what the universe, what is meant for you, what is if you believe in probability, whatever is going to happen is going to happen. It's not going to pass you up. So, but you can lose out on things if you don't align yourself with shit. And that is not that you can have, someone can have made a plate of breakfast for you, for it to give a metaphor. Someone can have made a plate of breakfast for you and you didn't actually get to it. It may be cold by the time you get to it. Or there's so many ways of being able to see in life how metaphors work out in ways that we can understand and apply on larger scales. Someone offers you something but you don't receive it, or you don't take it, or you don't make use of it. It's not even that it wasn't there for you to use or make use of or to have, or someone didn't offer it to you. It's you and your lack of laziness and your lack of alignment and your lack of accountability and being true to you. If you are being completely true to you, if you are really being true to yourself, and then you are acting in accordance with the inclinations that you're given, with what your conscience tells you, with what your gut tells you, with what your intuition tells you, with whatever visions you're being given, whatever you know you need to fucking do, if you are acting in accordance with that and you're being true to yourself, there's no way for you to not be your authentic self. That's the only way to be your authentic self, and there's no way to not be your authentic self if you are falling in line with that. And your reality will look like the custom-made reality that your life can look like if you fall in line with that vision, if you fall in line with that line of action, that energy. You have to bring that person to the table every day who you want to be. If you don't want to be a shitty person, don't bring a shitty person to the table every day. If you want to be an uplifting person or a motivating person, it doesn't always look like, hey guys, how's it going? My name is Todd and we're here to, Tyler, and we're here to, or whoever, and we're here to get it going. It doesn't always look like that shit. Sometimes you got a motherfucker yelling at you. Sometimes you have someone cussing. Sometimes you have someone saying some real shit to you that doesn't always sound nice, but it's going to make you better. And that's what people need. They need uncomfortable truths, especially before shit is too far gone. In a relationship, when it's too far gone, too little, too late, doesn't matter. In the environment, if it's too far gone, too little, too late, doesn't matter. Certain points, you get to a point where there is no coming back from what you've done already, or what you haven't done that you could have. Don't let it get to that point in anything in your life if you can help it. If you have to, if it's life or death, then you'll know because you're walking in line with something that you are willing to live for, and it will show because you're willing, you live in those, not just willing to in theory, but you're willing to in practice, because you actually practice living in alignment with what you say, and that is life. And then you're willing to die for it in the process of that. That is life or death. When you say some shit and then you actually live for it to such an extent that you're willing to die for it, that is life or death, and that is how you accomplish the magnificent, the miraculous, the unthinkable, the impossible, the shit that makes you seem mad when you just talk about it to lazy motherfuckers who have no vision and no follow through. Because people with no vision and no follow through can't imagine some shit happening that it takes vision and follow through to make happen. How the fuck would they be able to? They don't have vision and follow through. They can't imagine that shit. So don't talk about some shit with people who haven't done what the fuck you want to do if you're not willing to block out their voices if they throw some negative shit your way, or some shit that doesn't fuel you or promote what the fuck you're talking about doing with yourself if it's in a progressive manner. You're talking about some shit that is detrimental to your well-being, and these people are trying to speak some sense into you. That's not negative. That's not doing something that's trying to block your well-being. That's trying to help you. But if you don't know how to decipher between your own voice, your real true voice, and the voices that you have internalized from outside, then you're going to just be lost in the sauce. But it's not something that is impossible to do for anybody. No one's voice is so far gone that they can't get to it or that it's drowned out. You just have to shut up. You can't be distracting yourself with drugs, with entertainment, with whatever you think is going to offer you these answers or solutions. They're inside. You find them in the workouts. You find them in the sweat. You find them in the conversations that are meaningful with other people, where you get out your thoughts, your true feelings with people who you feel safe sharing those things with. And hopefully those people, you have someone in your life that can offer you something positive and constructive back. And if you don't, I encourage you to get someone in your life. They're out there. I guarantee it. If you seek them, you will find. Same way, if you build it, they will come. If you have something that you want to do, analysis paralysis is a motherfucker. If you hold yourself back because you are scared and you are just analyzing things to the death of it, you will never see what could be because you won't try. You have to put yourself out there. You have to put your best foot forward. You have to step out on faith. You have to do what you think about, what you want to do, and then figure it out as you go. So, be true to yourself. Attract what's yours by doing that. And just stay accountable to your vision, man. Stay accountable to your vision. Ain't no shame in the game. Every step of the way. I done did Shakespeare in the Hood on box crates for free. Surrounded by cornfields. Telling crackheads they had to leave rehearsal. Hearing about murders up the block. Same day I got rehearsal. And I've also been flown out to Hawaii by a major company and had seen myself on the big screen more times than I can remember. First time being at Sony, private studio lot, biggest, most lavish private studio or movie theater they have for screenings. It's all being true to yourself. It's all being accountable to your vision. It's all having no shame in the game and willing to put your nuts on the line or put yourself on the line, put your head on the chopping block, put it all out there. Leave it all on the field, leave it all on the court. You're not defined by what you do, but you give yourself to what you do and you give yourself fully to it, because any job worth doing is worth doing well. So if you're going to undertake something, give yourself to it fully. Much love, y'all.